guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be testing out a new eyeshadow palette. I was recently looking on Trend Mood's website to see what new makeup releases there were out there that I might be interested in trying out for the month of April, and one little palette caught my eye. We are going to try it out together today. I just got it yesterday. I haven't even opened it yet, so we'll take a look at it, do some swatching. I'm hoping to maybe do 2 eyeshadow looks with this little palette. Should be fun. I'm excited to share it with you guys, but before we get to the makeup, I want to wish you a special welcome. If you are a new visitor here, please consider subscribing, make sure notifications are turned on, and with that said, let's have a look. All right, so here it is right here. It probably does not surprise you guys that this thing caught my eye. This is from McGrath. It is the mini eyeshadow palette in Sublime Smoke. I was a big fan of the other mini eyeshadow palette. I know these are kind of pricey for what you get. They're $29, but I really love the McGrath formula. It is really great. As much as I hate the price tag, I can't deny that the quality is definitely there. So let's rip this thing open. Actually, we're gonna have to cut it. I tried ripping it. I do not see the little fruit snack notch in this package anywhere. Side note, I actually think these are packaged really cute. This is such a cute gift to give someone, as long as that person you're gifting for is a makeup lover. I feel like you'd have to know who McGrath is to understand the value of this little $29 gift. Otherwise, someone might think you're giving them child's play makeup. So here it is right here, the Sublime Smoke palette. Let's have a look inside. Ooh, those are very pretty, smoky, bronzy shadows. It looks like you've got like a warmer mid-tone, maybe deep bronze, and then a little bit lighter, kind of cooler tone bronze right here. You have a nice champagne, some good solid mattes. So I'll insert for you guys right here a close-up of the palette along with some swatches so you can have a closer look and see what the color story looks like. And then I think I want to just jump right in. I know this is kind of like a basic looking color story, but I still want to try and do 2 different looks. One a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, more natural looking, kind of more of a daytime look, and then something much deeper and smoky. So let me zoom you guys in just a bit and we'll get started with the first look. All right, so for the first look, we're gonna start in this transition shade here at the top. Just a light matte brown. We're gonna use this brush. This is the Sigma E25. Forgot that I had this. I ordered this, probably, was that like last year? When I placed my first order from Sigma. And I got this brush and then just kind of forgot about it. I actually do like it. It's a really nice shape. So that is the lightest matte shade, and as you can see, it's not super light. So if you have a lighter skin tone, if you're a little bit more fair and you want to be a little bit more soft and natural, just use a very light hand. I probably should have used an even lighter hand than I did, but we'll just give it a good blend. Hopefully I sufficiently wiped off this brush, which did look a little bit dirty. Kind of feel like I might be getting a little bit of like shadow remnant that's not actually from this palette right here. Okay, so there is the first shade. It went on pretty well. Kind of feel like it was a little bit trickier to blend than I'm maybe used to. I'm wondering if it's maybe my brush, which wasn't perfectly clean. I'm gonna take just a second and go in with this clean Rougher number 16 brush and just go over this top edge right here. I don't know if you guys can see that right there where it's just, I don't know, it looks a little bit patchy to me. I have a hard time believing that that's the shadow. Let's go over on this side. Make sure that my concealer's not causing things to skip. That can also be an issue sometimes. If I use concealer as my kind of eyeshadow primer, which I often do, if I don't set it right away or go in with my eyeshadow right away, sometimes that concealer will crease a little bit, and then when I put my shadow on, it's gonna have a harder time blending if I don't make sure that concealer is nice and smooth. Okay, this side's working much better. I actually kind of think it was my brush that was a little bit dirty. You guys seeing that? I kind of feel like there's a little bit of gray, like a subtle grayness to this side, which I think came from the previous time I used this brush. I used some like cooler tone grays and like greeny grays. A little bit more on the tip and just run that. Start here. So I place most of the shadow here and then I just drag from that corner down here. So most of the depth is staying on my upper lash line and just a little bit of a shadow comes down here below. I don't like my lower lash line to be too dark. All right, so far so good. So this is the daytime look. I don't think I want to go too much deeper than that, but let's have a look at these 2 bronzes right here. Decide which one I want to use for the daytime. I'm leaning towards the warmer bronze. Actually, no, scratch that. I think I'm gonna go with the cooler tone bronze because I feel like it's a little bit more reflective. It's gonna brighten up my eyes a little bit more. Then we'll go nice and smoky with this very rich very pretty warm bronze when we do the second look. So I'm just gonna take this shadow in the corner here, the cooler tone bronze on my ring finger, and we're just gonna apply this all across the center of the eye, leaving that inner third open for that champagne. Go back to that Sigma brush, just blend out the outer edge where the matte and the shimmer meet. Make sure it's nice and blended. And now let's go in with this shade right here, which is a nice kind of slightly warm golden champagne. Very pretty. Ooh, that is going to be gorgeous. Now I'm going to do what I typically do with a daytime look. Just take a little bit of my Wet n Wild Simma Brown Now liner. I'm just gonna do a very light baby wing here on the upper lash line, just at the outer corner. Now I'm gonna throw on just a couple coats of my Milani Highly Rated mascara. Then I will be right back, show you guys the finished first look, and then we'll wash it off and do it all again. And here we are. This is the finished daytime look using just a couple of shades in here. So we basically just used the entire top row. I didn't use anything on the bottom row yet. Very nice, very happy with the quality of these. I initially was thinking maybe this mid-tone brown right here was not blending as well as I wanted, but it blended just fine on the other eye. So I think either my concealer underneath was maybe not blended out very well, or my brush was just dirty, but now it looks just great. The shimmers are nice. Now these are just traditional metallics. They're not super, super sparkly and reflective like some of her special shades can be, but I do like her metallic formula as well. Very pretty, happy with it so far. You can't go wrong with the bronze. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this look off now, and then we're gonna come back and do a deeper, much smokier look. Okay, we are back. We are going to go in again with this palette. I'm actually gonna hold off on the Sigma brush. I wanna start off with my rougher number 16 brush. We're gonna dip into that same shade, the lightest brown. I'm gonna try and build it up in there pretty well, but I'm also gonna kind of tap it on the back of my hand because it is a very pigmented shade. And then we're slowly gonna build this up slightly above the crease. Now we're gonna go back to that Sigma brush. I'm just gonna dip into that same shade just on the very tip, and we're gonna run some of this under the lower lash line. Just about 2/3 of the way in. Okay, now I'm gonna take this shade right here, the deeper, warmer brown, on that Sigma brush, just right on the tip. I'm gonna start right at the lash line, place most of that color there, and then tap it up and in just slightly. I'm just covering this outer, kind of starting in this outer corner and then just feathering it in towards the center. Get it nice and deep and smoky. All right, there we go, nice and dark and rich. We're gonna take this shimmer now, the warmer bronze. Just on my finger, we're gonna tap that across the center of the lid. Now we're gonna go back to that warm matte brown. I'm just adding a little bit more to this outer corner and then blending it in towards that shimmer. I'm gonna wipe off the brush and just feather the edge of this where the shimmer and the matte meet. Next, I'm gonna add some shimmer to the inner corner. I'm gonna do this with a brush to be a little bit more precise. So I'm gonna take this little pinpoint brush. This is the rougher number 3. Then we're gonna apply that shimmer just to this inner corner. Now I want to add just a little bit more shape on this outer corner, and I want to test out this really dark cool tone brown. I mean, just look at this, you guys. It's nearly a black. It's very, very dark, very pigmented. So I'm going to take this small C-shaped brush from Sydney Grace, take the tiniest bit just right on the tip, and then we're going to kind of draw a bit of a wing with this. But then just flick that up and in to get some really dark definition in this outer corner right here. We are gonna apply some lashes today, so this is gonna kind of emphasize those outer corner lashes that I'm gonna be using. I'm pulling it down towards the lower lash line, but I'm not going in further than just the tiniest fraction. Now I'm just running around the edge of this outer corner with that Sigma brush, kind of wiping it off in between just to make sure it's nice and blended. Now I'm gonna take a few coats of my Tower 28 mascara, and then I have a corner set of lashes that I'll talk to you guys about after I apply them. We'll apply these and then I'll be back and show you guys the finished look. All right, here we have look number 2, all finished, complete with mascara and a half set of lashes. So the lashes that I'm wearing, and I have mixed feelings about these lashes. They're definitely not as comfortable as the Eyelure ones that I've been mentioning to you guys. These ones right here. They are significantly cheaper. I got them on Amazon. They're this set right here, which is the Only All False Lashes in C07. I feel like they're a little heavy for me. I usually don't like anything that's too like thick looking or too artificial looking. I have smaller eyes and I find very thick, heavy lashes tend to just like weigh my eyes down. And even though these are still just corner lashes or half lashes, I don't think they're quite as comfortable or as high quality as the Eyelure ones. But that said, I think they were like $7.99 for this entire pack. So I will link them down below in case you guys are interested. Just be warned, my one complaint with these, and I will talk a little bit more about these and a couple other sets I got from this brand in an upcoming speed review video. But that biggest complaint is that the lash band where they're attached at the bottom is very, very thick. It's like a very thick plastic band, which makes them harder to apply. And you can also kind of see them when you look down. They just look very artificial, but I'm just picky that way. But here's the finished look. I know we're talking about the eyeshadows, so very happy with these so far. It's kind of a basic palette. I mean, I would say if you have other bronze tones in your collection, like this color story kind of reminds me of a couple Juvia's Place smaller palettes that I have. I definitely have these colors throughout my collection, but they are good quality. I think the packaging of this is just so super cute. Very travel friendly if you like more deep, rich tones and smoky looks. I didn't have any issues with any of the shadows that I applied. They all applied really well. Now, the reason I like these little Pat McGrath palettes, there is something, if you're into makeup, if you are just a makeup lover and fan and you appreciate higher end, like really luxury type makeup, something like this is kind of appealing. Even though it's small, even though it's kind of expensive for how much you're getting, it's Pat McGrath, which is what you are paying for. So I can enjoy that. I do like Pat McGrath shadows. If you're a Pat McGrath fan and you want something really small and compact and travel friendly, I think these are really fun. Even with them being so tiny, they're like little Polly Pocket palettes, which I think I've told you guys that 100 times with the purple one. I also think they make really good gifts for the makeup lover in your life. Definitely for someone that would actually know who Pat McGrath is, which I think you have to be like pretty deep in the makeup world. My sisters probably wouldn't even know who Pat McGrath is. Not all of them, maybe one of them would. As far as the quality of the shadows, again, I think I have some Juvia's Place shadows in these color themes. I probably have a couple Wet n Wild ones, maybe even some Essence palettes, the little Essence palettes. Personally, if it was just me and I didn't do this makeup thing on YouTube, I usually value saving money more than I do enjoy high-end makeup. So I would typically go with the cheaper stuff that is still good quality, but you're not gonna get the cute packaging with that or the name brand, which is really what you're paying for with this thing, and the good quality. It is good quality. So those are kind of my final thoughts. What did you guys think of the looks? Do you feel like they look different? I kind of feel like this just looks like a darker version of the first look, but that's kind of sometimes what you get when you're working with browns. Not that that's a bad thing. I think these shades are nearly universally flattering, but just something to be aware of. So those are my final thoughts for now. I'll keep you posted as I get to know this thing a little bit better, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you come back soon. I have a speed review video coming up shortly, as well as some new stuff that I'm gonna be getting in the mail soon from e.l.f. that I'm very excited about. So those will both be up within the next week. Hope you guys are all doing well. Let me give you one last reminder. Please subscribe before you leave, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.